shades on
Hey,
now.
what's up, everybody? Thank you again for joining Wonder Wonder Repeat. This is Roy and Carol, and they are fellow YouTubers, and they also get to travel and see amazing places. And I can't wait to see where they've been, where they're at, and where they're going. Let's get into this. Hey, you two, how are y'all doing?
We're good.
Doing great.
Now, that does not look like Arkansas there in the background.
No, it's not.
Right.
This is the Grand Bridger Teton National Forest behind us. 3.4 million acres.
And we'll probably do a tiny little walk here in just a minute, just so that we can kind of give you guys the view of the Grand Teton.
Oh, I would love that. I've
It's right
always
off that hill.
I've always wanted to go there. So are y'all just camped out there? Like, what's the deal? Tell me who you are and what you're doing right now.
So last year, or was it the year before?
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah, last year we sold our business.
April the 30th. We
leased our house out and moved into our Jeep. And we
Wow.
did over 20,000 miles last year through 14 states. And temperature started rising in Colorado. So I said, let's go further north. We make it here to just right outside of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. We were just campers. And we relieved the guy that was here. And then they called us again this year and asked if we'd come back. And we're like, free land in the Bridger Tetons? Looking at the Tetons? Absolutely. Here we are.
So y'all are camp hosting there at a campground.
Correct.
How do you even land a gig like that? Do you just show up and be like, hey?
No, it was quite unique. Glad you asked. So last year, whenever we pulled out full time, we basically were spending about 3 to 5 days in each location, and we spent the entire month of May last year just exploring all over Colorado, a couple places in Utah, and then also the northern New Mexico area when we left Texas. But it started getting a little bit warmer, and so I said, I've never been to Wyoming, let's head that direction. And so we just kind of detoured the path, and we ended up here in the Jackson Hole area. And with city ordinances that they have here, they're really close knit when it comes to like dispersed type camping. Yeah, the whole county. You're right.
Yeah.
They're very strict. I mean, it's like if you get caught car camping, it's like a $500 fine. So you have to be in a designated campsite, even though they have dispersed free camping sites that are primitive, but you have to be in like a designated spot. You can't just, troll up and pop out your stuff and go. And, down in the city, the
too many millionaires
and billionaires don't want to see people just, hitting the supermarkets, parking lots and things like that. So it's a no-go. So we decided real quick, we're not even going to chance it. So we came up here to this really quaint campground. It's Curtis Canyon inside of the National Elk Refuge. And it's only got 11 sites. And we were actually camping, and the host that was here had, I guess he realized that we weren't vacationers. We were actually, this was like our lifestyle. And he said, I'm actually not going to be able to stay the entire season because I have to go back for work. And I'm on the hunt to find somebody to take over. And he's like, I'll let you finish.
I was like, no, not really. We appreciate it. We just retired, but thank you.
You're like, no, thank you?
Yeah, because we were like, well, we don't want to stay in one spot, for like more than, in our mind, we were like 3 to 5 days. And then, we were here for 3 days, and then it started sinking in as we started thinking. it's very expensive here, but there is so many things to actually go and explore and do in this vicinity of Wyoming and over even into Idaho, and just a lot. And
It's a very central location.
yes, and it's very, very expensive. In fact, Jackson Hole is the most expensive city in America. They surpassed Manhattan a few years back. And
Wow.
yeah. And housing is a crisis here because affordable housing is not available. I mean, a one-bedroom apartment is like $4,400 a month.
About 300 square feet.
And there are like
wow.
10, 12 people that'll split it just to
Oh my
work there.
gosh.
Because you can make a lot of money per hour, but the per hour rate that you make here doesn't allow you to have a cost of living. Exactly. And so anyhow, we started thinking, hey, we'll get to stay here for free. And the site would be free to us. There's a little bit of perks to being a host. And we don't have to worry about where we're going to stay. And so it's just worked out wonderful.
Yeah.
And then they called us back earlier this year and asked us if we would take over or do the full season this season. And we jumped right on it.
I would too, girl. I learned something from Wade May a while back. I had him on the podcast. He's with Gaia Off-Road. He does their podcast. And he said a lot of times we miss the moment just by dismissing it just immediately. But for y'all to just sit there and just think, you know what, this could be something that we do and we get to see other areas. I would jump on that in a minute because you've got a lifetime to see things, but you can explore this area.
Yes. And the nice thing about it is, we have kids back home. We've got 6 grandkids. And last year, it was too short notice. But this year, some of them are going to come up and stay, a week. And so it's going to be nice to be able to, bring them into an environment because, they're grown with their own kids and they don't have to pay for the cost of staying somewhere. So it's just like a win-win.
Now the gas mileage.
You got a point there, sister.
It's nice having a trailer to set up base camp, then you can go any direction. And there's so many things, so many trails around here. It's unreal.
Wow. I know we've always wanted to go to Wyoming. We want to go to Montana. Those are places we definitely want to hit. And Jackson Hole, you just see so many beautiful pictures on all the social medias of Jackson Hole. And that's just, it's definitely someplace that we want to check out. Troy has a question for you. He says, do you get to leave camp very often as a camp host?
Yes. Yeah. If I want, I could leave more than I do, but I choose not to because I like being up here.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually leave twice a week. I'll go down off the mountain.
Yeah, he's a minimum of 2 days. He's got to go and explore and do things with me. But I go pretty much out and about almost every day. Well, I don't want to say every day. There's times where I just want to chill at camp, or there's trails here and things like that. So, yes, I get a lot more freedom when it comes to that. But for him, he just
I like it up here. There's less tourists.
He has to be here at least 5 days, but we could go 2 days somewhere and even not return during the night, so.
2 days out of a week and you're there until, when are you leaving there?
September 15th.
And you've been there since when?
May 8th.
2 days out of a week for that long of a time is a lot of time.
So, yeah.
But it's peaceful up here.
Yes, it is. Except for the ATVs. Let's not talk about that.
Sometimes ATVs can be crazy.
I think those drive us crazy everywhere we go, though, right?
Well, it's like we're the forest fairies. So when they want to do crazy stuff, we kind of have to intervene, So we're kind of the step before law enforcement gets involved or Forest Service. So.
Now, does that make it a little bit difficult for you guys? Like, I know signing up to be a camp host, you're like, oh, I get to stay here, I get to have the perks, I get to see all the amazing places. But then you also have the responsibility of like keeping things in check too. Is that different?
It falls great within both of our personalities. I mean, he's like he's great in a lot of senses of he's not going to allow the ATVs to come into the campground. They're not allowed. He'll stop them, as they're trying to even come to the gate, even though there's signage there that says no ATVs. And
Sometimes people can't reach in New York.
exactly, but
Yeah,
like
amazing, isn't it?
for instance, people that come in during the night while we're asleep, and then we wake up and we see, oh well, they that car wasn't here when we left last night, or there's now 2 cars in this campsite, and somebody's just pulled up and just car camped inside of a campsite somebody else paid for. No, I'm the one that's knocking. Camp host.
I mean, it's
morning.
Like someone rolling into your neighborhood and parking in your driveway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't have you registered to be here.
And
Can you?
people are like, I don't know who they are.
Yeah, and I know whenever we stayed at Padre Island National Seashore, we kind of did that kind of thing where we stayed at a campground. There was a camp host, and that's actually where we learned about camp hosting. I hadn't heard about that before, but he was very diligent about letting us know the quiet hours, letting us, like, he came and said hi, he checked out who we were. But yeah, people will come in there and they'll just try to take advantage, and it's definitely like your place. So I totally get that.
Short road.
Gabby Petito.
What'd you say?
The Gabby Petito.
Gabby.
Oh yeah.
They stayed at our campground.
They both stayed here
last year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's way cool.
Over the Grand Teton. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's way cool. So were y'all trying to make your way anywhere this time? I know y'all were wanting to go to Yellowstone, I believe, and
it's open now. So the south entrance is open. We'll go there on the 5th. My son and daughter-in-law and youngest grandson will be headed up here this weekend. So we're gonna go on the 5th because the odd day is what works with our license plates.
The South Loop is open.
Okay.
In 2 weeks, they're going to open the North Loop.
Okay.
So you'll have pretty much full access to the whole park. You just won't be able to go out through Gardner, Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that still a lot of the damage on the road there?
It's further on. Most of the damage was actually in Montana.
Okay.
I mean, the news has been very deceiving. So.
Well, everybody's wanting to make a story about something.
Right.
So, I mean, it would probably been nice if it was closed for a year or two just to let the land heal. But Jackson, Cody, Wyoming, West Yellowstone, they rely on the income that the tourism.
Sure.
Yeah.
So they were around the clock trying to figure out something.
Yeah, I mean, I bet that tourism income is probably going to be what helps fix the roads again. So I totally get that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so tell us a little bit about your setup out there. I know you have a Jeep. It's a pretty cool Jeep.
Thank you.
So tell us what kind of Jeep you have and your whole setup here.
It's a 2015 Rubicon.
Okay.
2.5-inch lift on it. And we have a new trailer this year. It's built off the M416, the military World War II style. Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Yep, that's it.
And we have an easy on tent on top. And the roof rack you see in that picture, we took that off after going to Moore because our fuel mileage was like 8 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went a different route with a different roof rack. I call it the soccer mom roof racks. The kind you see on the van.
Let me see if I have it. I know I have other. No, I think
that was one from last year when we were headed up to the UP.
That's in southern
Illinois is where that picture came from.
Yeah.
Where is this in Illinois? Because that's beautiful.
That is right off the road.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact location. It's in far south southern Illinois. I mean, it's like right on the Missouri, or Arkansas, Missouri area, right in that. I don't know the exact location off the top of my head, but
that's really cool.
Something cave.
Yeah. We stopped there and had lunch, I think, is what it was.
Yeah, you got to be careful in that area because horse apples will fall from the tree and nearly knock you out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
people got knocked out.
Oh, no, that would be horrible.
And we do have an Ironman 4x4 awning that is on the driver's side with the enclosure room.
Okay.
So when we're doing our 3 to 5 day locations, that's kind of, we open up that room and kind of make that the kitchen area and things. But being here, camp hosting for as long as we did, we invested in a clamshell
A yurt.
type thing so that we have a little bit bigger space for kitchen and the
Yeah,
things.
that whole setup.
Exactly.
Yeah. The other one is a 8x5. This one is 12x12. So
Okay, so yeah, this one's, those matter, especially whenever you're out remote like that.
Yeah, when you live like we do, every inch counts. So.
Exactly. So Carol, you mentioned that you go out sometimes a lot whenever Roy stays back. Do you go with anybody or do you go by yourself?
No, I go by myself. But there are people, there's a lot of hikers in this area. So it's been kind of a nice little side thing, even people coming into the campground, because the hikes are so long, especially over on the Tetons. It's like you have to go over into Idaho almost to start. And then by the time you finish, you don't have a car. So a lot of them will park their cars at the end of the hike area. And then they're like, hey, I'll pay you, if you'll take me to the beginning, drive me to the beginning. So that's been a little nice, incentive too, because you got people paying $40-$50 just to be taken to a trailhead.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, sure, no problem. But yeah, I go down and,
just sightsee,
do chores, go to the post office, pick up a few things. And then I go out and sightsee and I film as much wildlife because that's what grabs me. I've gotten some amazing wildlife.
Caught a video that yesterday of like National Geographic material.
Oh wow, I can't wait to see that. Regina, Brad Cowett's wife says that is gorgeous. Illinois, really? Who knew? Because who would know that about Illinois? JK Bronco Adventure says beautiful area, Southern Illinois. Need to check out the Shawnee National Park. There's so many places.
That was the name of it.
The Shawnee,
I
believe that's
what I think it's either right there in the Shawnee National Park area or very close nearby. Because I know we were transitioning, going a route to the upper UP, and we were kind of slowly going that way.
Gotcha.
And so we saw that spot, and I thought,
was on our way back. Like we went across the Dakotas to the UP.
Oh, you're right. You're right. We were on our way to Texas. We had just left.
Yeah, Comanches.
Okay, it was last year.
It's been a few hours. I can't keep up with it, girl. I can't keep up either.
Yeah, he's the one that does all the routes and all that. That's
Adam Hummer in a Jeep says, I've been that way a couple of times. It's wild how the lakes are so large. They look like the ocean. But yeah, definitely not impressed with Chicago.
No, definitely not.
Well, we stayed completely away from that area.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for sure. So you said that a couple of years ago, year and a half, y'all sold everything, decided to live out of your Jeep, travel. What made you decide to do that? Was it just you want to get out and explore? You're tired of the 9 to 5, all of the things?
Well,
a little bit of overlap.
Yeah, it's a little bit of all of it combined. I mean, I actually, this is my second retirement. I retired from corporate America in 2010.
Okay.
And I was really focused on taking care of my dad at the time. He had a massive stroke and it took out the left side. So I was like, taking care of him constantly with his needs and all that. And whenever he passed, I went into like this grieving phase, but I went from having so much to do every day to just take care of him that I had all this time on my hands, and I became very agitated or just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And I wasn't paying attention to it. I was actually, my therapist went and said, every time you tell me a little bit about your day, it's like you're constantly cleaning. And I said, well, yeah, I mean, I get up and this is what I do. And eventually she goes, how many times do you clean your ceiling fan? And I said, well,
there was no paint left on it.
I do it every day. And she goes, Oh no, honey. You need to go ask a friend if you can go clean their house so you have really something to clean because that's obviously what's your therapy. And so I went and I did that for a friend, and that ended up turning into a residential and commercial cleaning business that
Oh wow.
grew into like six figures. And then, I was telling him, I'm like, I feel like starting to feel like I'm back into like a corporate structure
Yeah.
again, with having to have so many, staff members and all this,
Jobs. Yeah.
that I told him, why don't you, I got him out of his career, which was, heavy equipment tow operator over the road type,
Heavy
driving.
duty towing.
Okay.
And I got him, to help me with basically my business, knowing that our ultimate plan was to retire and do it right this time.
Mm-hmm.
And so we really just the last 3 to 4 months of owning the business, I gave all my clients like a 90-day notice, and that I was transitioning out, and we just really stayed focused on purging things and buying all the things that we would need while we had the revenue, because or want, yep. So
It's
that
good
we
to know that you
can,
still buy things that you want. So it's good to know that.
we bought all the things that, are the most expensive items before we, retired, because we knew we needed to kind of put ourselves in a structured monthly budget. So, it just worked out that way. And I have traveled for work for many years, and the disadvantage is you don't get to learn and explore the
She
culture.
flew over all the places.
Yeah. Yeah.
And me, I drove by and I couldn't stop. So
Yeah.
Right.
I told her one day, I said, we're going to have to make this different. We're going to have to do it a little bit different. And within 3 or 4 months, we threw all this together. And Gaia was really a nightmare for me. And I watched Matt's video like 30 times over and over.
I live with them and it's still a nightmare to me. So I get
And
it.
once you figure it out, it's not bad. It's actually good. But I've trip planned all my life in big trucks. But when you go from interstates to forest and BLM roads, completely different. So,
Oh yeah.
but thanks to Matt's video, made it so much easier.
Now we really try to entrench ourselves in the areas that we go in and learn about the areas.
We're museum junkies.
Yep, museum junkies, history, culture, give it all to us.
I love that. I always say if you leave a place without feeling like you're leaving a part of of yourself, there, then you didn't actually become a part of the place that you were at. I'm all about being able to immerse myself in the culture, whether it's eating something local, finding out what the locals do. Don't do like the chains. Don't go and some of those have, you want to check that off, whatever, do that once, but dig a little deeper and you'll get to find a lot of the heart in the place that you travel.
Exactly right.
Yeah. So where are some of the places that you've been besides the Grand Tetons? I know you've been on the road for a few years now. So goodness.
Last year, we did a lighthouse tour around the upper UP.
Oh.
And
I need to know your lighthouse tour route because I want to go to lighthouses.
I could send it to you.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
I tracked
just know in
points.
advance that there are a bunch of them that are now privately owned, so you will not be able to actually access them. You'll be able to see them.
It's a good thing about a drone; you can get good videos of them.
Right. But there are some amazing ones that you can go ahead and climb all the way to the top.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah, it's just
And we did over 450 miles in the UP on nothing but trails. UP Trail System. There's an app.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
We're going to go to the Keweenaw. The core. It's core. Keweenaw, Overlanding, something. I'm probably butchering that. Cindy Pope, I love you, and I'm sorry. She puts on that fantastic event up there, and I cannot wait to go. This is my first year.
Isn't it near Copper Harbor where they have it?
Yes.
That's my favorite town in the whole state.
Yeah, I'm super
I mean,
pumped.
when you go to the UP, you just like immediately step back in time about 20
It's
years.
what you feel like, or I do.
Yeah.
That's so
I was
cool.
at the gas pump last year,
And the
and
fall is
I
my
was
favorite
waiting
time.
for her to prepay.
Yeah.
Well, the guy walks up behind me and said, "Say, man, you can go ahead and pump. We still trust you up here." Then you go pump.
And the pumps are
That's
not like the pumps
hysterical.
that we have here. Here,
I mean,
the
it's kind
pumps
of
is you
cool,
pull up
flip
and
the
you
lever.
flip the lever and it's got the
Oh,
dials that roll. Yeah.
yeah, that's old school.
Yes.
Yeah, and
It
I
would
told him,
probably
yeah,
take me
that's
a
what I
minute. I'm
was
like,
going
where
to
do I
do.
put my card?
Yeah. Yeah.
We loved it up there. Loved it.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. I can't
we
wait.
did some touristy things, but we got very, very
Then,
intimate with the UP.
yeah, we went to any lighthouse, museum. We took a boat ride,
Yep.
Mackinac Island.
Yeah, we did Mackinac Island, which is a real touristy thing to do. But if you've never been, it's definitely worth going. I mean, it's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
only place left where there's no automobiles
Only the
allowed.
fire department and
What is it called
and
again?
Mackinac Island.
Mackinac
It's the
Island.
only city in the United States that doesn't allow vehicles.
Yeah,
So you take a boat to get
You take a
there.
boat
a
across,
ferry boat.
and
Yep.
you can either ride horses, you can go rent a horse, you can rent a bicycle, or you can walk. It's your choice.
How big
Yeah.
is this island?
It's
It's pretty big.
pretty good size.
Yeah.
Bob Seger lives here. Bob
Yeah.
Seger has a vacation
Beautiful
home there.
houses there. Beautiful houses.
Who would know?
And then, of course, you can't forget Drummond Island. You can take the little
yeah, you can
ferry
take a
over
ferry across
there,
there. They
and
got
there is lots of trails that
they
you
got
can get badges for
2
there.
Jeep Badge Honor trails,
That'd be way cool.
Yeah.
and it's only like $20 round trip on the ferry.
Do you put this may be a really dumb question, but do you put your vehicle on the ferry? Like, or
Yes.
okay.
You call. I called them, and I measured the Jeep from the front of the winch because centimeters.
They charge by the
for
inch.
everything. So from the
Gotcha.
winch to the back of the trailer, and
Okay.
then it was like I think it was $20 last year.
Yeah.
It was round trip, and you go over, stay as long as you
I
want.
have to write these
Then come
places
back.
down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grabbing my pen.
Then
now.
we went to the Badlands,
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, we did
Mount
our
Rushmore.
last year. Our trip journey was like just shy of 20,000 miles
Dang.
in 16 states.
I think it was 14 or 16.
I think it was 16 states.
Okay.
And so far this year, we just have, done, New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming. But when we leave here in September, we've got some things that we're going to go see.
We're gonna go to where Custer was killed in Montana.
Okay.
Then cut across. I was raised in Darby, Montana,
Okay.
which is where they film Yellowstone.
Oh, I'm
I
familiar. I'm a
lived
Yellowstone fan.
south of where they filmed that at the Chief Joseph Ranch, and
That's
my
right.
school was half a mile north of there. Then from there, we're going to cut across over to Tuskegee, Idaho, where I used to live in the Nez Perce Indian Reservation.
We're fixing to go through Idaho.
Yeah, there's this trail that we're going to take. It's the old Lewis and Clark Trail.
Okay.
It's 117 miles, but it's like a 27-hour drive
Oh
on
wow.
Forest Road. Get to Lewiston. That's where I was born. Show her around there. Then I have 1,200 miles routed on Forest Road, BLM, all the way to Arizona. So,
Yeah.
Arizona really surprised me whenever we went, we just went to Expo, West, but we did, I can't even, Schnebley Hill Road, that takes you down into Sedona. That's the Jeep badge there, so we just wanted to do that. But there's also like trails that take you up the mountains that are there near where we were staying. But there's so many places, and Arizona, the Overlanders of Arizona Overlanders. I don't know what the name of them, but we're going to go back and we're going to have her lead us around because it's Arizona Overlanders on Instagram, but they have a group there that goes out and does all of the amazing trips there in Arizona. And we want to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Sedona is on our bucket list.
Yeah.
We were.
Yep. Sorry.
It's okay.
Somebody's needing some change for a site.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny.
We both said, if we get through the whole live without an interruption, it'll be amazing. But
No, that's what you're doing. It's your job right now.
That's
So I
right.
totally get
That's right. Absolutely.
it. Lee Gibson just said Dumb Life just did a vlog on that island. So now I'm gonna have to go watch
Yeah.
Dumb Life's vlog.
Mackinac Island. Yes. And we do have a video of our UP tour.
Okay.
It's actually two parts on our
Okay.
YouTube channel of the entire, because we spent an entire month up there. And
Gotcha.
so we pretty much just kind of did a recap of it before we headed out this year. So those are there, and it's got some stuff on Mackinac Island there.
Gotcha. So when did you create your YouTube channel?
Well, we've had the YouTube channel since last year, but we didn't, we were pretty much just Facebook, Instagram, TikTok kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody was like, you need to do, it's crazy, all these things that you're showing us, you need to put it on YouTube, do YouTube. And so finally we decided, okay, when we go out this time, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna just upload a video a week. We're not gonna be like,
yeah, that's where you got to start.
consuming ourselves that we can't, because some people are trying to put stuff out there every day, every other day, and I couldn't imagine the work that's involved in it is so
I did not
time
realize
consuming
how hard it is editing.
and I'm retired, I want to enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
So
It's totally, I totally get that.
it has grown great. I mean, in the couple months that we've had YouTube,
we just want it to be fun.
Yeah.
Like, Matt made a video a month or two ago about do it because you want to.
Yeah.
Don't do it with huge expectations.
Yeah.
For us, it's just to be able to share our journey with our friends and family.
And that's exactly where Matt started. He wanted to be able to share it with his friends and his family and, people that aren't close, to see the places that he went to. Even Brad from Trail Recon, like his first video, like we had dinner with them whenever we were at Expo West, and like his son shot the video and decided to post it, and then he was just like getting a lot of feedback. And I think that's just you have to enjoy what you're doing, and you can't let it take apart from what you're doing. Otherwise it becomes a job and you're back in the corporate lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want anything to feel like a job.
Yeah.
This firewood back here, that was a job.
Yeah. That's to keep our solo stove going through September.
Yeah.
That didn't come with the camp host gig? It wasn't just there?
No. I go up and cut it, bring it down and split it and everything.
Girl, you're dreaming now.
I wish.
Yeah. No. Regina said, yep, Trail Recon started as a family video diary. That's all it was.
Yeah, that's right. It just starts from something, and it just kind of it evolves.
Yeah. And the more authentic, like right now, the way you're seeing things, I think you could never go back. Like we go to Colorado every year. We go to Colorado or Utah. We flip it each year, and sometimes we go to both. But you never get that first initial. It's kind of like, when you first meet somebody that you get from them, you get, and so you never get that. You need to record whenever you see something. Moment. Yes. Yeah. It's that first impression that you get from the mountains. Like I never will forget whenever we came in through Red River, New Mexico, when we saw the mountains, out in Colorado, just kind of like in their horizon. It was just like, wow, those are cool. They didn't look that big. But then we started going in and you're just overwhelmed. And so, yeah, it's just those things like right now that y'all are seeing for the first time. It's incredible.
Okay. So as we talk, we're going to journey a little bit this way. We want to give you guys a little bit of view of that Grand Tetons. So before we kind of went a little bit walkie-talkie on you.
Want they cheers or?
Nah.
Oh, and while you're walking, I'm going to ask you. So Justin Williams, Roy, and Carol, are y'all making the trek to Rendezvous in October?
Rendezvous in October.
As long as he's making some
jambalaya and some boudin, I am there.
So we were there last year and we didn't get any jambalaya or boudin.
Well, we got it at Moore.
Snares.
At Moore.
Oh, well, guess who was also at Moore, Justin Williams? I'm calling you out. Bring me some boudin and jambalaya. Thank you. Have a good
And
day.
he had some pastelaya too, and I'm telling you, it was some good stuff.
He's
I mean,
laughing over
hands
here
down.
But yes, we do plan on being there.
Yeah.
Adam says, "Don't drop us."
No, I'm not. I keep having to look down though because I don't like to hit a sagebrush bush because that's the indigenous plant for this area. So
I'm just
they wanna
amazed that y'all have service right now, and I just want to shout
Well,
out to that.
we got lucky. We have AT&T, and the president of AT&T like has a home here.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so he's
you
sure
know,
it's
we're
covered.
gonna have good service.
If he's gonna be here, he's gonna have service.
Yeah. So you said that y'all also have a Weeboost though, right?
Yes, over the road we boost. And it's amazing. We had an analog one last year that was not so great.
Yeah. I think we want to get, whenever we go on the road full time, we want to get Starlink.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we want.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, who was it?
I think
Roaming hobo. He just came and spent a day with us yesterday because he was picking his Starlink up today at the post office before heading back up to Yellowstone.
yeah.
And we were just looking into it, and we're like, yeah, that's sounds like a pretty good program.
That's the way of the future right there. If you can get everybody that's in corporate America a Starlink,
To have
nobody's going to
service
be in
anywhere
office
we're at.
anymore.
Yeah, it's just going to take a few more steps for me to get a right position.
We may have the Jackson Hole Paragliding Club up here. But
We'll see. Yeah. Once or twice a week, they come up here to paraglide.
yeah, they're good.
They are.
Oh, we're
We'll
going to
just
see
take our time.
paragliders?
We might. Yeah. Actually, wait. Let's see.
There's one right there.
Right there. See.
Oh, wow.
You see him?
Yep.
We have grizzlies too,
I
and
can't.
mountain lions.
I need to put my sunglasses on because I can't see it from the glass. So now I can see what I'm showing you because it's going off of our front camera.
So tell me again, I have a friend, Travis Branham. What campground are you at again? You said it was where?
Curtis Canyon
Curtis Canyon.
Campground inside of the Bridger Teton National Forest. And it is also on the upside of the National Elk Refuge. And I don't know how in the world this guy brought this huge bus up here because this road is really bad. Look at that.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm not surprised. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. But it's a pretty rough road, and he's towing a truck behind it too.
Oh, Justin said he did offer us to have jambalaya and boudin, but we had dinner plans. Well, you didn't offer it to me.
You got me craving it.
Don't ask Matt. Always ask me. Okay, you're kind of pixelated. Oh, wow.
Okay, let me get.
I feel like you're just
You
going to
see
walk off the edge of a cliff.
No, I'm walking up it.
This is the first
It's
show
an
that I ever
amazing
had where I
view.
feel like I've went on a hike.
Hey, I try to do 6,000 steps a day.
Is gas bothering y'all while y'all travel all the time? The gas prices?
Not so much because we're here stationary for much longer than we would ordinarily or typically be. But yeah, it's a little pricey.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I can see why they paraglide there.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's just your backyard.
Yes.
That's so cool. So how far away are you from the Grand Tetons?
That right there that you're seeing, let me see. I can't see clear. That right there is the Grand Tetons.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm showing you. That whole mountain range right there.
Wow.
And the sun is about to set behind it, and that's whenever you get perfect pictures.
Oh, I bet. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here in the 90-degree weather in Arkansas.
Well, I'm not going to tell you the temperature here because you might get a little jealous.
You already did before the show. You said it
No,
was 30s. You said 30s at night, and then what was it during the day?
like 60s, 70s. Now, if you're down in the city, it can get into the, right now, probably upper 70s, 80s, low 80s.
Yeah, Troy must have looked it up. He said it's 81.
Yeah, down in the city. We're at about 7,200 elevation.
Okay.
So there's a significant difference between here and there. There's about 15, 20 degrees.
Contingency Overland said he's about to quit my job and cash in on his retirement.
Do it. Do it while you're able to enjoy it, because that's the whole thing. You know, whenever first retirement didn't go right, and then I started thinking, man, I'm not physically going to be able to do things that I want to do if I don't hurry up and do them. So,
Yeah.
Roy's back.
I'm back. Somebody
Roy,
made
this is an awesome view. This is an
down here in the
amazing.
Northwest, 7,500 head of elk migrate here through the winter to survive.
Yep.
Really?
And they're safe from everybody.
It's
Okay.
24,560.
Yeah, and the elk refuge, you can't hunt them. But you can come up to Bridger Teton National Forest, which is above the refuge. And if, you know, they want to migrate this way, they're, yeah. But that's all that flat land down there is for the elk.
24,560 acres.
There you go.
Dang. That's so beautiful. It's pretty and green. My mom actually is watching. She wants to know, do you get any rain? Like, is there a lot of rain there?
We get in this area of Wyoming, it's their wet season.
Okay.
I mean, 6 days ago we had snow, so
that's weird.
Yeah.
And then we've had the day after, it literally held 6 times in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
So, and the temperature where we're at here will be 6 to 10 degrees cooler than it is down there.
More like 15.
Yeah, just because of the elevation.
In the concrete.
So.
Yeah, anytime we go to Moab, Utah, we always stay up. We go up high, stay out of town.
We learned our lesson last year on that.
Did y'all stay in town?
No, we went to the trail that takes you into the park, the off-road way.
Yep.
And when we came out, it was so freaking hot, and I told her there's no way we gotta be able to do this. So we went south 35 miles to something south Sinai or something. I don't know. Anyways, a mountain south of there, the temperature dropped 35 degrees. So.
Yeah, he does all of the mapping on where we go, so don't ask me.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a paraglider way over there. Let's see if I can figure out.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Yeah. They're probably coming over here to land, because this is about where they'll take off up there and come over here.
They'll walk up this trail right there.
Okay.
And up on top, there's a flat spot. So depending on whether it's here or up there, depending on the wind, is where they take off at.
Yeah, that's way cool.
And if you look right here, let me see where my finger is. It's about right there. That's the only airport inside a national park.
Oh, wow.
In the United States.
Yeah, Jackson's airport is inside the Grand Teton National Park.
And it's the only one in the United States that way.
That's way cool. There's so many little facts that y'all know that y'all pick up while you're on the road.
Well, when I'm doing things, I study the area and learn it. That's
we do. And, you know, being in town so much, I started, you know, because there is, you can tell even in camping, you know, there's so many people that come out here because they work in town and they're just trying to find a place to sleep because you cannot afford to live in this area. I mean, the cashiers and say, you know, just like grocery store cashiers or convenience store cashiers, they all make a minimum of $25 an hour. But the cost of living is so high that the companies also have to provide them dormitory housing, but there's only so much. Oh wow, there's 4.
Where is it?
I don't know if you can see that.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I can now. Oh, wow.
But the dormitory style housing, they only have so much available, and obviously the employees that don't get the housing, then they're like searching because they may be coming from another state or from a very rural area, and it's not feasible to commute.
Yeah.
But the grocery store, kind of what I was saying, is I started noticing, well, the grocery stores and the convenience stores, they're all 2-story. And then
So people
talking to the people, the second floor on everything, like the banks, the bank buildings, your mechanic shops, everything has a second story. And that's because on the second floor is the dormitory style housing for the employees.
That's way cool that they provide that, though.
Mm-hmm.
And the world record for paragliding was set on this hillside, 253 miles.
They're coming in. They're going to come in over here where we're at. Y'all are going to get to see them land. Let's see. We're already at. Yeah, we're only at 46 minutes. They're getting closer.
That's
It's
crazy.
hard for me to see with the sun. With the.
Can you see this picture? You had sent me this picture. I'm gonna put it up. I don't know if you can see it on the phone.
Okay.
You can see that. Where was this taken at?
I don't see the picture yet. Maybe I should step back over here.
It's the one with the waterfall. Yeah.
That is Bond Falls in the UP.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
beautiful.
On your way to Keweenaw, enter
on the way there.
Yeah, when you enter the UP through Wisconsin, when you cross over into the UP from Wisconsin, Bond Falls is very, very close. And it is one of the most amazing waterfalls I've ever been to.
I think now that you mentioned that, I think that's the one. I think Matt got a drone picture of this, and whenever he went to Core.
Probably.
It's a very popular stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a lot of waterfalls up there, and I would have to look back on the photos to remember one of them. There was like a side of major
that was
road.
They'll pass right by on their way to.
It was like, I want to say Joshua something, and I actually, because there was like a little trail going back, kind of following it up. So I actually went up the waterfall through this little trail, and then whenever I crest over the top, there was like this hidden, just beautiful crystal clear like pool of water that was about 4.5, 5 foot deep. That was just amazing and refreshing.
We have a friend, James and Betsy Chason. They just got back from Yellowstone and the Tetons, and they did a river tour there. And he says our river guide told us the same thing about the service providers while they were there doing their tour. So that's way cool that they provide that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Travis said he wishes it wasn't as far of a drive from Texas, or he'd go there every year.
Yeah, it is a long drive. We're native Texan, or that's where we're from.
If they didn't provide housing, they would have nobody to work here.
Yeah. Kind of like what I was saying to you before we went live. There's 1-bedroom apartment here is like $4,400 a month.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
It's unreal.
Mm-hmm. There's a house. I don't know if you can really kind of see it, but down in this valley here. Refuge.
I see something. I don't know if it's what it is, but yeah.
$65.5 million.
Oh wow.
$65.5 million.
5.1.
I mean, I have that in my pocket.
Well,
sure.
I asked if they take checks.
But I do have to ask you, did you make your s'mores dessert on that oven you bought at Moore?
I did.
They did it at Brutus.
I know.
Yeah, that's the first time I'd ever use it. I've been very skeptical to use it, but I've been following Regina, and she cooks I think 4 meals a day, every day. I don't know where she puts it. And Brad's really tall and skinny. I don't know what she does with all this food, but she cooks all these amazing meals, and she posts pictures of it all over her Instagram, and she uses that thing a lot. And so I was like, I've got to figure out a way to do it. So I took it with me to camp, and I was just like, I'm gonna
Make
just
this
enter
work.
this. Yep, and I won. I was so
That's
pumped.
amazing.
Yes, I was like, you go, girl, you rock it.
I know. Now they're gonna at Rendezvous, they're gonna have another cook competition.
Wow.
And so I'm probably gonna enter it in for all of the
Ozarks.
yeah.
Yes.
Rendezvous in the Ozarks. Yep.
That's the one in October.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Justin, you're going to be there, right?
Yeah, with his boudin and his jambalaya that he's gonna give me.
Yeah, we can make
That's right. That's right.
Troy wants to know, how bad are the bugs that far up north? I hear the mosquitoes and flies get really, really bad.
They are terrible.
Mosquitoes and biting flies are the most problematic that you have, but I have that
Bins.
we use bins for
B&S.
for the spray, and it is amazing. But I also use that I didn't bring it with me because I just kind of
Thermocell.
yeah, the Thermocell.
If not, the flies can carry you away.
But when you turn on the Thermocell and the blue light comes on that baby, you got 15 feet of coverage, and it just doesn't bother me after that. So
Dang. So is that in the UP or is that there in Wyoming?
that's here in Wyoming.
Okay.
Now in the
They
UP,
won't last long. Once the temperatures start hitting about 70 every day, they'll actually move up a little higher.
Now, if you're asking about the bugs in the UP, I'm not sure if that's what they were asking.
Yeah, it says up north. I'm not sure if he means in,
The UP, we did our tour there in the fall. So like we spent like the month of September. Wait a minute, let's see. Yeah, September and October. So half of September, first half of October up there. And I mean, I didn't really have like a major feeling like I'm uncomfortable and can't enjoy myself. I mean, I didn't really have to even use any kind of bug spray, but it could be contributed to the fact that it was in the fall and the temperatures were definitely getting cooler.
We're right at 7,500 feet here. I went up another 1,000 foot and I got attacked. I mean, completely attacked today.
Ugh.
Yeah, terrible. And I wasn't
that's the only thing you have to deal with, Get some spray. I've never heard of the Thermocell. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, it's basically a repellent.
It has a butane bottle that goes in and this little pad that slides in the front. It heats up and puts off the scent. You can
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
they're totally worth it.
Works.
But just
I could use that at Big Iron this year.
I want to say it's the 550 model or the 350 model. Just make sure it's got a 50 on the end, because the first one I got was like a 300 or a 500, and it didn't have that little spot on the front left that turns blue to let you know when your area it got hot enough to control your area, because that one lights and ignites really well. There's actually a battery that goes in it, whereas the model down from it was very difficult to get it to ignite and stay lit, especially in different elevations.
Yeah, Troy was asking if it works in the wind. Does it have like a wind chill or anything?
Yes, it's actually inside the unit. So I can clip it on my belt and carry it around with me. It doesn't get that hot. It's just hot enough for it to actually heat that little pad that you change. And once that pad turns all the way white, you replace it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out for sure.
It definitely works.
Yeah.
It doesn't keep bears away though.
No.
and neither does wasp spray.
No.
These two ladies show up the other day, and I always go around everybody and make sure they have bear spray. And she goes, "Well, we have this. My husband said it would work." I said, "Well, your husband's going to get you killed." And hey.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen a lot of bears while you've been there?
We've had 2 so far.
Okay.
That we've seen, anyways. Then mountain lion that are cubs.
Yeah, there's a mountain lion den not far from the actual camp area.
And we've had multiple deer,
Yeah.
did have 4 bighorn sheep cut through camp too the other day.
Yeah, and I've gotten a moose with a baby that was like a week
Aw.
old, and the baby was all photogenic.
She
Yes.
caught a video yesterday's like National Geographic quality. She caught a fox that was too close to a baby antelope, and the mama antelope chased this fox for 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I got it all on video.
I can't wait to see that. I hope you're going to post that up.
And I got a badger.
Oh, yeah, she had a badger. That's
that
very odd.
was like 5 minutes worth of video, and this badger just kept running alongside, you know, where I was at. I was in a car, so I felt safe, but he kept looking at me like, why do you keep following me, you know? And mostly badgers will just go under the ground.
Normally you don't ever see them because
Yeah.
they're a nighttime animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt always says that Regina just said that she thinks she may need a thermocell. She's usually a smorgasbord for mosquitoes. I'm usually Matt's bug spray because they all attack me and they won't attack
Yes.
him.
I'm the same way. I'm very, very fair skinned, and they will come after me like I am their meal or dessert or treat of the year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a huge thing for me to figure out a way to not necessarily always have to have spray, because I'm not, I mean, I'll do the spray if I have to, but
I don't like feeling all sticky.
sticky and smelling, and then it's all of a sudden it's like, ooh, I got this taste on my lip, and yeah. So
Tracy wants to know, do the bears bother the campers or rummage through any of their belongings?
Haven't had here, but across the valley over at Grand Teton National Park, there was a jogger. I think last week he got chased by one about a half a mile. Then on the left side of Grand Teton, they're not allowing no tent camping. It's all hard sided because a bear ripped a tent. But if one's came any closer to camp, I haven't known it. But last year I physically saw 8 bears last year, and 3 of them did come through camp. So,
and there's bear boxes and everything that we have sites.
You said that they're only allowing hard shell tents where at?
The what?
You said they were only allowing hard shell tents?
On the back side of the Teton.
On the
west. Because a bear ripped a tent open. So
and it's I think it ended up scratching a mom and a child.
Oh, that was another bear attack.
Oh, okay. My bad.
That would terrify me. Like if I'm sleeping in the middle of the night, because I just know we got our puppy.
They had food in their tent instead of putting it in. So,
I mean, most of the places out here, even the dispersed camping, they'll put a bear box share with another campsite.
Yeah.
And our campground, each site has its own bear box. So then it's just smart, you know, having the right protection, you know, to defend yourself from.
Yeah, for sure. Our friend James Chason said he has a couple of thermocells, so I'm excited to see these thermocells.
Yeah. If I was still at the campsite, I could show you mine, but I kind of like walked out here to the lookout.
So, what are your plans after?
Yes.
Yeah, the view is gorgeous. What are your plans after leaving here?
When we leave here, we're going to go up to Custer, Montana, where Custer was killed. Then cut across to Darby. I used to live in Darby, Montana. I went to school there. I did a little research trying to find out that's where they filmed Yellowstone at Chief Joseph Ranch. And I lived 2 miles south of there for several years. Then I was raised in the Nez Perce Indian Reservation over in Idaho. We're going to go there. Then over to where I was born in Lewiston. And it's a Lewis and Clark trail. It's like 117, 118 miles. I think it said 27 hours.
Okay.
Then I had 1,200 miles routed from Idaho to Arizona. All forest.
Okay, so you're going to do that trip after you're finished here.
Yeah. Then her trip's going to get cut a little bit short because she has a scheduled surgery. So we have to be back in time for her surgery. So a little bit of the routing I had to take off. Like we were going to go to this what's the forest in California? I forget the name. Redwoods.
Redwoods.
Yes.
Go to the redwoods. But like I
in
said,
Lake
that's
Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe, but all that's off of our
Schedule for this
schedule for
year.
this year, so it'll have to be next year. So
Yeah.
How long will the surgery put you down, Carol?
That I'm not 100% sure on. So,
Okay.
hopefully not more than 4 to 6 weeks, I would hope.
Okay. So you'll be able to come to the rendezvous, you think?
That'll be before the surgery. I'm scheduled to go in pre-op. I think it's November 4th.
Okay.
So I want
Gotcha.
some
So you'll be done.
and jambalaya before I go.
You'll be down. You'll be done then maybe before even Christmas. So
I know we're gonna have to
Hopefully.
get Justin starting into some catering so that he can ship that to us general delivery to the post office, please.
Yep, you're saying you make the trips to the post office. I can see you being gone for a long time, and you come back, and we'll be like, "Where's the jambalaya?" And you'll be like, "I don't know."
I don't know.
Well, listen, we've really appreciated having you on and just showing us the view. It's gorgeous there.
thank you. We were glad to be here with y'all.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it, and I just really look forward to seeing all of these animal videos on your YouTube
If
channel.
y'all make it this way, be sure and let us know.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Any fellow overlander,
Yeah.
if you're coming to Wyoming, it's not cheap to find a place
Yeah.
in and around Jackson Hole. You just
it's
give us
not
a
easy to
call.
find a place.
We'll share our site with you.
that's awesome. And so, how do you even look up that site? Is it something that's on like their national park listing?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on the national park.
National
Forest.
Forest.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's Curtis Canyon.
Yeah.
Curtis
Mhm.
Canyon. I
And the
wrote it
Butcher
down
Teton National Forest.
because I want to go there. It
Yeah.
looks
We're-
beautiful.
If you can see that mountain right there,
Yeah.
that's Jackson Peak.
It still has
Okay.
snow on it, see?
Yep.
So
And of
it's
course,
melted quite a bit, but
the Tetons has snow on it too, but it's
it'll be on there year round.
it's
About the
really-
time it starts to snow again, I mean, there's still they don't ever leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
The highest point always has snow on it.
Just the snow caps. All right. So
glad
give
that you're just having a
a
heyday
quick
today.
shout out, Carol. I don't know if you can hear me. You're kind of fading in here and there for me, but so you're Overlanding Adventures of America on YouTube, and then where can we find you? Facebook, Instagram.
We're Facebook. We're also on Instagram and TikTok, but on our Facebook page, we have a link to our link tree, and that'll get you to all of our individual social media channels.
That's awesome. Well,
But
again,
YouTube, we are Overlanding Adventures of America because we hit that 100 plus, so we got to get a
that's awesome.
subscribers, so we got that customized link.
That's way cool. I can't wait. I'm ready to see your fox chasing all of the things. I want to see it.
Yeah, it'll probably be this week or next week because I just got that video yesterday. So
Gotta edit it. I totally understand.
Yep.
But
We
it will
all
be
have.
coming.
What'd you say?
I said, but it will be coming.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited. All right. Well, y'all have a great night and y'all get to enjoy your dinner and the beautiful view, and we'll not have that view.
I know. It's already finished. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I
Well,
made
thank you again. You made what?
Salmon croquets
Oh,
with
yum.
potatoes and field peas.
I love the way y'all camp. Well, y'all have a great trip, and it was so good to see y'all.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you for having us.
All right. Well, y'all have a good time.
Y'all have a good night.
All right. Bye, guys.